Here are my random thoughts on season 3, episode 9 of The Traitors. All right, I'm losing sunlight, so I'm trying to record this in different spots in my apartment just so I don't have to find a ring light or anything like that. But so episode 9 picks up and we see that Danielle and Carolyn, they're still in the is it called the Tarot? And they're still arguing about whether they recruit or just murder as usual. And Danielle cannot convince Carolyn to recruit Brittany because, of course, Carolyn does not trust Danielle, as we see she should not. But I think that had Carolyn recruited Brittany, I think she would have stayed in the game a little bit longer. As we see at the end of this episode how that actually played out. But yeah, and then we see, we'll get to it, but let's just keep going. So we get to breakfast and we see that they decided to murder Sam, which, yeah, just to appease both sides because, of course, Danielle had people that she wasn't willing to give up yet, and Carolyn it's just a whole hot mess. So I do think if they did not recruit Brittany, then killing Sam. But I feel Carolyn wasn't ready to murder Dylan yet. I think that they should have got rid of Dylan, if that's what I would have done. And then get to Sam, of course, eventually. But yeah, so Sam is gone. So as they're at breakfast, Brittany is waiting for everybody to come in, and she is genuinely afraid that Danielle is not going to show up because she just, in her mind, Danielle is not a traitor. And it made me think about the dynamic of their relationship and the hiccup in their relationship. If you're not familiar with Big Brother, Brittany kind of betrayed Danielle in reindeer games. And of course, I can't remember the details of it, but I do remember that Brittany kind of Danielle was eliminated. And so they have that backstory, but they made up. And Brittany truly, and this is surprising for me that Brittany is going in like this. I would have thought that she would have kind of scoped it out by now, but I guess she wants, I don't know what Brittany is thinking, but she just wants to think the best of Danielle right now. And she kind of thought that if Danielle was a traitor, then she would have got rid of her a long time ago, not knowing that the reason she's still here is because of Danielle. So their relationship is just really, really interesting at this point. Alan in this ponytail, hilarious. So they get to the challenge for today, and we see that Kate and Parvati, who I am familiar with, Kate, of course, from season 1 and 2 of The Traitors, and then Parvati, of course, is a Survivor legend. If you're familiar with the Survivor world, she also played Traitors last season with Phaedra, if I can remember correctly. So they are guest hosts for today's challenge. So we see that for today's challenge, they're basically on a big giant chessboard, and they have to answer questions or respond based on what the traitors are thinking. So Danielle and Carolyn answered questions last night, and the answers are all based on what they said, which is where Danielle began to set Carolyn up. And of course, the traitors would actually know the correct answer. So I don't know why, because usually Carolyn kind of hides back. But for some reason, this is the challenge that she chose to be more vocal on, which is weird. And then Danielle is kind of sitting back like a faithful but Carolyn is really telling the right answers. I don't know. I don't understand Carolyn's strategy at this point. And of course, Tom starts his shenanigans during this challenge. And he said that he is the biggest threat to the traitors. Tom, that's what he thinks. This man is hilarious. Is he entertaining on the other shows, or he just more villainy on whatever show he came from? Y'all let me know. Is Tom like this on the other show? Because if so, I'm going to go back and watch because he is hilarious to me. So I believe they end up getting 2 of the 4 questions correct. If I can remember correctly, I believe they won $10,000, and I believe it was $20,000 up for grabs. So yeah, and there goes the downfall of Carolyn. So they get to the round table, and it really looks like when Carolyn and Danielle are going back and forth, it looks like 2 traitors arguing. Like, if I'm sitting back and watching, because think about it, the faithful have not been catching traitors. Traitors have been catching other traitors. So if I'm looking at the pattern of events, because Boston Rob got out the drag queen. Did Tom get out Rob? I don't know. I guess we kind of can give that to Tom. But for the most part, like, Bob the drag queen set Rob up to be banished the next time. So he's kind of got Rob out as well. So the faithfuls really have not been catching traitors. So if I'm sitting back and I'm looking at this, I'm like, this really looks like, because Danielle, it's all in the confidence as well, in the way that Danielle is speaking. Like, this really looks like 2 traitors going at each other. And I believe someone mentioned it. I forgot who. But yeah, the traitors are just getting each other out. And the faithfuls are just standing by. Idiots. So at the end, we see that Carolyn is banished. And now Danielle is left alone. And she has to recruit or offer someone. Of course, she offers Brittany the recruitment, and if Brittany doesn't accept it, then Brittany will be murdered. I am so the way that I want to just see Brittany's face when she finds out that Danielle is a freaking traitor. I hate that. When I watched season 1 of the Traitors, I was able to watch it straight through because I didn't start with everybody else. So now having to wait week to week is just awful because I wanted to binge it. I hate this episode to episode thing, but I am so excited to see Brittany's face. I really am. So for next episode, we see that a new power is going to be unleashed, which has not been done in previous seasons. I haven't seen this because I've been watching the UK version of the Traitors as well. I don't remember this power being used, which is called the Seer. So that is interesting. I wonder what that is about. If anybody is familiar, let me know in the comments below. But that should be interesting. And I think that at the end of this, a faithful will win, but it will be by accident. Because I don't think that during the final banishment that anyone is going to keep Brittany or Danielle. The only way that a traitor would win is if they recruited Dylan, and then Dylan would win, so a traitor would win. But as of now, I think that the faithfuls are just going to win by accident. All right, so next week we are on episode 10. So I believe it is 12 episodes this season. Is it 12 episodes in a reunion? I don't know, but we're winding down to the end. And yeah, it's been a ride. I love this show. I love this game. And yeah, I will see you guys next week for episode 10. Bye.